Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and because you demanded it on 2 days ago's video, we're doing a second voltage video. However, don't worry, those of you who are like, I got enough voltage. We've got a second video coming out later today that's going to be the new #1 ranked deck in Marvel Snap. So make sure you stick around for that video as well. We are going to kick it off with the top 10 decks in voltage and the top 5 voltage cards. That's what you can find in this video. I'd also like you to know that 2 of the voltage decks in the top 10 are Series 3 only decks, which means that you should be able to hopefully access these lists even if you're newer in your collection. Before we get to those decks, please, if you're willing to, hit that sub button. A like and a comment would go a long way to helping support us. We're trying to hit 25,000 subs in 2025, and we haven't missed a day of videos in well over 2 years at this point. In addition, we're giving away a Captain Carter this week. It should actually be on either tomorrow or Monday's video that we announce a winner for Captain Carter. We're only giving away 2 more, but we give away one this week, one next week, and then the week after that, we're into the new season, and we should... Oh no, there's 2 more weeks left in the season. We're giving away one this week, one Doctor Strange week, one Hydra Stomper week, so we've got 3 chances left to win Captain Carter. I'll have to do a sub, like, and then you leave a specific comment on each video. I ask what later in the video, and you are entered to win the card. It's just that easy. We are also hosting a major tournament called the Snap Judgments League. It kicks off April 21st. The Discord is linked in the description to this video. If you're interested, there are $500 in prizes. It is an amazing tournament where you only have to play 1 game a week. It is sponsored by TopDeck.gg, which is the tournament software used to run it. They've been an amazing partner in this, so please make sure you check them out if you're running a tournament, and check out our Discord if you want to join the Snap Judgments League. Finally, our first deck is our first All Series 3 deck. This one has a 61% in 130 a 61% win rate in 130 games. It's a really strong and simple deck. This is old school. That's what we're doing with this list. We are going old school. This doesn't run anything new. This is the old classic Shuri Red Skull, more or less, right? A few cards costs have changed, a few cards power have changed. Sauron got cheaper, Taskmaster got more expensive. Enchantress got a little more powerful. Zabu has a different cost. A few changes here and there, but this is fundamentally that classic list. What you're fundamentally trying to do is you would very much like to Shuri Red Skull for 28 power and then copy that by Taskmaster. If you are worried about things like Shang-Chi, you instead go to Shuri Vision. If you Shuri Vision, that is a lovely 16 power that is movable, that can be copied. Sauron turns all the cards that have downsides into just pure upside cards. In particular, Lizard, Red Skull, and Typhoid Mary, it really matters for. It doesn't really matter if you turn off Ebony Maw in this mode, though, so don't over-index on that. You can just play it on the last turn. Zero gives you a backup because taking that hit from Typhoid, Red Skull, in particular, are both really, really rough. So Zero gives you a backup Sauron, as does Enchantress, while Enchantress also stops a lot of the ongoing stuff we're going to see further up on this list. It's a top-notch list, all Series 3. This is going to be our number, actually 11 list technically. I couldn't bring myself to cut the last list because it was all Series 3 cards. It also had the same win rate, albeit in 30 less games than this one that we're going to take a look at. This is just the coolest list, I think. I'm very excited to try this. Next time my missions open up, this is what I'm going to be playing. It's a Firehair Phoenix on reveal bonanza. I love this idea. It is completely wild. If you start eating things, you're going to get multiple triggers from Firehair. You're fundamentally using Phoenix Force as an extra on reveal trigger, much like you're using Odin and Zola for extra on reveal triggers. What on reveals do we want to trigger multiple times? How about White Tiger and Black Panther? Those are the 2 main ones, although Infinity Ultron stones are really, really nice here. I'm pretty impressed to see Infinity Ultron. We're going to see him again later. Infinity Ultron in 2 of these lists. I know a lot of people bought Firehair, which means they had Misery, because those 2 cards really go together. Iron Lad is fully replaceable. I don't think I'd replace anything else here. I think you're actually going to need Misery. You're actually going to need Infinity Ultron. And I guess that's it, right? I think you're actually going to need Phoenix Force. But I don't think Iron Lad is remotely important. That can be sort of any card. I'd actually even consider a card like Carnage for that, were you so inclined, or Grandmaster. Next up, we have 62% and 180. This one is a classic Black Knight list. That's right, Black Knight making it here. If you end up passing turn 2, you can on turn 3 very often end up going She-Hulk, Infinite, and then if you can get a discard going, or you got a discard on the first couple turns using Black Knight, Lady Sif type stuff, you can play that with Ghost Rider, you can play that with an Infinity Shard, and you just drop massive power that your opponent just has to deal with. Makari gives you some free power, Sunspot grows the whole time. It all comes together. I actually ended up playing against this one a couple times, and it felt really strong. Uh, as far as high series stuff goes here, you're going to need Black Knight for this list. Sorry. Makari can be anything. Makari is literally any good card. I'm partial to Juggernaut or Negasonic in this mode, should you be so inclined to need an extra card there. You can also, if you just want to keep the cost curves the same, you can run Wasp. Fundamentally, Makari equal Wasp for most of the decks in this mode. Red Hulk is the other high series card here, and that one could just be Giganto. Giganto obviously has more downside than Red Hulk, and Red Hulk has more upside. That's why Red Hulk's here in the first place, but it is an okay replacement should that be one you feel like making. There are only two discard outlets here, but if you see Black Knight, Blade, Lady Sif, Ghost Rider, any two of the four fundamentally, you sort of end up okay with this list. Very cool one. Again, I played against it, I haven't played with it, but this is a really high win rate and a good sample of games. And now we jump up a couple percentage for the next deck. This is one of the decks I played, although the version I played didn't run Spectrum. This is incredibly strong. There's actually a version that has like 2,000 games that has a slightly lower win rate. I believe it's 62% that runs blah, blah, blah. Professor X, that's the name of that card. Professor X in the Captain Carter spot, which is a really, really cool take because you get Professor X out on turn two on like a Goliath or with Mr. Fantastic or Spectrum to buff it, and you're able to just sort of steal that lane, which is very, very, very strong and a really, really fun way to win games. I used this literally because I wanted to get rid of my Captain Carter weekend missions. I own Captain Carter, so I played this list. It was the highest win rate list I found, and I just won like 8 of 10. This is a very strong list and one that I urge you to check out. I can personally vouch for this one. You are going to need Ravonna and Goliath here. Sam is nice here, but he's much less important in Voltage because he's just not getting that big. He's mostly nice with Spectrum here. Like, feel free to make Sam any sort of good ongoing that you want. Yes, Sam is better than the others. That's why he's here, right? But any good ongoing is perfectly fine to replace Sam. That costs two. Ravonna and Moonstone and Goliath are the expensive cards you need. Captain Carter, feel free to go. Oh, Ebony Maw is a fine Sam replacement. There you go. But if you don't have Captain Carter, run yourself a Professor X, and then you should be good to go with as long as you have Ravonna, Goliath, and Moonstone. I told y'all when Moonstone came out, she was eventually going to be a meta card. We are at that point in the world where Moonstone is just very, very good. Next up, this one is a more standard good stuff build for the list, 64% and 280. Note the same win rate. There's sometimes percentage points. If you see a difference in play rate, it's a couple like decimal points of difference. But 64% and 280 is a lot. This is about as standard good stuff as you get. Your hope here, your like dream here, is to just sort of hit Wiccan on turn one. Wiccan on turn one is amazing and sort of lets you do all sorts of crazy powerful things. We're not running any Wong, just Zola and Panther ends up being fine, especially if you can Galacta Panther into Zola. Agent Coulson gives you a little bit of unpredictability. Shang and Juggernaut are some control. And then again, Red Hulk is just this big, powerful thing. Sunspot is very solid here. You often end up just wasting a reasonable amount of energy. If he ends up a 1/5/1/6, you just got an Ebony Maw for dropping him for one. So that seems like it's really good as well in this list. Very cool list, very simple. I am a big fan of the Agent Coulson edition in particular here as the thing that really differentiates this deck. I think Negasonic and Juggernaut are like the standard good stuff 3s. Galacta and Wiccan are the standard good stuff 4s for this mode. Panther and Zola are just extra like power. If the opponent can't interact, you win with them. Really, again, all around very cool stuff. As far as high series stuff, I wouldn't play this without Galacta and Wiccan, but Red Hulk can be Magneto or Odin or whatever the hell you're in the mood for. I think Galacta and Wiccan are important, and Red Hulk is just big. Next up, negative. Yeah, that's right. Even higher rate from 64 to 66. Although only 120 games, we have a negative list. Negative does not need your Ravonnas and Psylocks of the world in this mode, so you instead just go all higher curve. And because we're going all higher curve, we can afford to just run Black Panther here. Just cold throw a Panther in. Why the hell not? We've got Wong Sage shenanigans, Wong Sage Mystique shenanigans. We can use Ironheart and Cassandra Nova with that. Cassandra Nova just being really big if you end up playing her on turn one. And negative, if you can get negative down on one, which you can a reasonable amount of the time, you end up just drawing 4 negative cards. Once in a while, you're going to hit an Odin and be sad, right? But or a Jane and be sad. But most of the time, you're pretty satisfied with the way that this deck treats you. Again, just a lot of power, really useful and powerful stuff to do here. As far as high series stuff goes, if you don't have Gore, you can try Taskmaster. I think Gore is significantly better, but you can try Taskmaster. Cassandra Nova, we're looking at Wolfsbane, or Cassandra Nova or Sage, we're looking at Wolfsbane. Juggernaut's also fine, although now we're running a little iffy on the stuff we want to hit with negative. And that's it. Negative is almost always a good budget option, and it remains one in voltage. 66%, smaller sample, so this one has a higher decimal, in 120. I want to try this one. I haven't yet. I'm a big discard fan. I really always enjoy it. I don't know why. Uh, I usually hate this kind of linear decks. Like you can't pay me to play destroy, but I really do enjoy discard. I enjoyed discard and voltage. 2 times ago, I played a lot of discard. This Conchu discard seems like it's pretty good. It is standard as crap, right? This is Scorn and Blade and Morbius and Colleen and Moon Knight and Corvus and Lady Sif and Dracula and Proxima and Modok and Conchu and Apocalypse are all just discard cards. Cool. Good to see the discard cards. There are only three high series cards here. Modok not anymore. Khonshu, Proxima, and Scorn. I think that they're all kind of replaceable. I don't know if I'd do this without Scorn, to be perfectly honest. But if you want to run a Swarm here, feel free. There's like Swarm is a good replacement for Proxima. If you don't feel like running Khonshu, whatchamacallit, I lost the name of this card. The 4/6, that's name is now going to run away from me. Malekith is a fine replacement. I think Scorn is all you really need, but this one's really doing work. Oh, Corvus is in this version. Excuse me. I think you are going to need Corvus if you have Conchu. If you don't have Conchu, I don't know if you need Corvus, but odds are you did get those two together because they came in caches together. So yeah, Scorn should be the only high series card you need, but I think the Conchu and Corvus are going to be what makes this such a high win rate version. Next up, we jumped up in win rate again. Oops, went the wrong way. We went from 66 to 67. We're up 67% in 150 games. This is a good stuff list. We're going to see another version of this momentarily. So Ultron's really, really good in this mode. And if you're going to run Ultron, you just sort of run Patriot just because. And that's a pretty cool way to do it. You don't have to worry about Patriot if you don't have Ultron. But if you do, all of a sudden, your Ultron is going to play for 4, 8, 12, 16, 32 power in each extra lane on top of its own 8, which is pretty damn good as a rule, and that's going to win a lot of games, especially because you can like combine with Claw and so on. You have Shang-Chi, Juggernaut, and Negasonic as your control cards, Wiccan and Galacta as your standard 4-drops. I do think you want Wiccan and Galacta here. You can maybe, for this version, try Sarah for Wiccan, but now you're going to want to cut Legion for, like, I don't know, an Absorbing Man, a Grandmaster, a Gwenpool type of card. This is, again, relatively cheap, right? We're looking at Legion, Wiccan, Galacta as our high series stuff. I think, again, you're really going to want Galacta for this. Unless you have, Moonstone. I think Moonstone could probably replace Galacta reasonably here. Legion is very unimportant. Legion's really cool, right, in this mode, but Legion's very unimportant. Throw an Iron Man in there, throw a Cannonball in there, pick your poison as far as replacements, and you'll be totally fine. Next up, yeah, 67% and 100. This one actually shocked me. Like genuinely shocked me. This is a fairly standard deck, right? Like this isn't doing anything too crazy. It's running 3 4-drops. I don't think I really give a shit about Zabu. I would cut Zabu, but I don't know. I don't have a 67% win rate in this mode. This one is basically saying my Diamondback plays for a 311, my Man-Thing plays for like a 411, my Anti-Venom gives me an extra card to play for free. My Luffy's like a 413. My Ajax is like a 525. Sorry, a 5 like 17, 20. So like you just have a lot of power here, a lot of control. You're taking off a lot of power between Scorpion, Hazmat, Cassandra Nova from the opponent. You got Luke to protect you. No one's really running counters to Luke right now. So if you have Luke, I was very impressed with this. Very. This one, however, is just expensive. You do need Diamondback and Luffy and Anti-Venom and Man-Thing and Ajax. Sorry, you just do. There's a lot of expensive stuff. You don't need Red Guardian and US Agent. You may need US Agent. You don't super need those cards. Those are a little extra. But either way, I'm very impressed to see this put up enough power to compete in this mode. Finally, I believe this was the last one. We have our... Oh, no, this is the second to last one. Excuse me. This is our Infinity Ultron deck that really impressed me. This is a zoo list. This one is basically just saying, okay, so Infinity Ultron is here largely just as an extra nice tool, right? Everything else that's here, though, like you're playing a zoo list and then you're throwing Infinity Ultron and it works? What? Why? I don't know. So if you're lucky, you can get Infinity Ultron down on 1. You can play those cards. That'll make your Mockingbird cheaper. Obviously, Shauna's amazing, make your Mockingbird cheaper. Captain Marvel is amazing in this mode, especially since she can cost 6 with Blue Marvel. Marvel Boy makes Shauna better. I don't think you actually need Marvel Boy, I'm going to be honest, and you definitely don't need Infinity Ultron. But like Zoo has just always been effective in this type of game mode. Feel free to cut Marvel Boy, Makari, Infinity Ultron, and just run regular ass Zoo cards. Throw a Squirrel Girl in there, and you'll be fine. I think you do need Mockingbird though. You can throw a Gilgamesh in the Infinity Ultron spot. That kind of thing will be fine. But 68% in 100 games, this is the best Infinity Ultron has ever looked in this mode. He's actually really fun in this mode. I still think he's a relatively bad card. But if you suddenly have 5 energy on turn one or like 8, 9 energy on turn two, then he is suddenly good and fun. All right. Please check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I should be streaming most of today. Literally in about 3 to 4 hours from now, I should be live. Check it out, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Come hang out. Season Pass question. If you could ban one Voltage card, what would it be? So I personally like the idea of shaking up the meta. I think the meta is a little stale because it's the same one, basic one as last time. So I think I would ban Juggernaut and just say let's see what happens with Juggernaut, and maybe I would unban Gambit. I would like be mixing and matching my bans more for this mode. What do you think of that idea? And what card would you ban? Next up, we've got the top 10 cards. Rest really simple. Let's go through them. So at number 10, we have Starbrand, which is just genuinely a surprise at 58%. And there's decimal points difference on these, just for the record. But Starbrand at 58% is a surprise. It didn't show up anywhere in our top 10 decks. But Starbrand and Ares, number 10 and 9, suggest that there is a version of the Surtur deck floating around that's been very successful. Number 6 further supports that, as Surtur is here. Starbrand, Ares, and Surtur all being in one deck make perfect sense to me as a thing that has a super high win rate. From there, we have Man-Thing at so this has been like expensive, right? Starbrand, Ares, and Surtur are Series 5, Man-Thing is Series 4. Man-Thing at 58% is really huge. We saw the Man-Thing deck that works moments ago, so I'm not going to break that down again, but Man-Thing is really good. It's basically, again, if you play it on the last turn, always a 4/11. 4/11 is a lot of stats. Ant-Man at 58% is unsurprising. He's just a good power spike, right? Like if you're running an ongoing or zoo deck, he's gonna be a good power spike. And we saw both ongoing and zoo decks that had a lot of success in this mode. So Ant-Man being really good makes a lot of sense. If you're looking for ongoing or zoo, he's amazing filler. We talked about Surtur. Going to number 5, we've got Ultron, our 59%. Ultron's also the highest win rate of anything on the highest play rate of anything on this list. So you can argue that Ultron should be even higher due to his extremely high play rate. Ultron at his base, like without any other shenanigans, says I'm at 8 that generates 16 more power. So at 624 is just very strong. That's fundamentally what Ultron does here. The 624 being a great way to go about things. It's easy to bump with cards like Patriot, Khazar, and Blue Marvel, particularly in this mode. Any bump takes the points Ultron makes through the roof, and it wins games that you would otherwise have no business winning. Just really, really big fan of Ultron in this mode. He's fundamentally replaced Doom in almost every deck. I see a lot of Doom, and almost always I'm like, oh, thank God that wasn't an Ultron. Dazzler gets really big. Ultron's very played. It gets really big with Ultron. Zoo's really good. It gets really big with Zoo. Ongoing remains really good. It gets really big with Ongoing. A 2 that gets up to 8 is a lot of stats. I'm a little surprised not to see Goliath doing as well, but Dazzler goes in more different shells than Goliath does, so it's good to see it doing so well. From there, we have Khazar, and Khazar not Blue Marvel is another one of those surprises. I'm beginning to think that 4 to 5 is a really big breakpoint in this mode. 4s are significantly better because you're fairly often more likely to be able to play a 4 on turn 1 or fit a 4 into your turn 2 curve than you would be able to fit a 5. So Khazar being at 59% is really great. I think literally the reason Khazar is good is number 5 Ultron and number 2 Shauna. Shauna being such a huge win rate card. Again, people are really trying hard to win 2 lanes. Being able to put those cards across the board for extra power is amazing. Shauna stole me a game I had no business winning. My opponent juggernauted away my stuff, and my Shauna went mid. And Shauna was like, how about if I put a Titania in that Juggernaut lane? Wins the Juggernaut lane, wins the game. Great stuff. So Shauna being amazing is not a surprise. And Patriot in a smaller sample than Ultron being comparable makes sense. It's very hard for me to imagine many Patriot decks not running Ultron. Classic Ultron, not Infinity, although he's not bad in this mode again. Classic Patriot being one of the best things to do, literally just because you run it with Infinity Ultron and then instead instead of generating 16 power, he's generating 32 power. So now he's a 40 power card, which is just absurd, right? Patriot into Ultron is 40 power on the board, which is just really rough to beat for a lot of decks. It lets you steal a lane on the cheap, and then you can like use Juggernaut or other nonsense to or Claw or whatever to really go over the top. Very cool in this mode, and I'm happy to see Patriot having this home. And it's like so many Series 3 cards, right? Like the top five are all Series 3 cards, and so is number seven, or Series 3 or lower cards, and so is number seven. So like it looked like this was going to be this really expensive thing, and it didn't end up being so. All right, that's it. We're going to be back again later today with two great decks for you. One you've never seen, and then one deck that you have seen, but is now the number one deck on the Infinite Leaderboard once more. Please check out if you're interested, patreon.com/snapjudgments. We have a bunch of different tiers of support. If you're at all interested, please come check it out. I'll be posting an exclusive video there later today as well. Certain tiers of support on Patreon come with on-air thanks. I got to say thank you to our friend Fat Nick, our patron of the month, Abigail Gilson, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, Always Kind, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hota Neverete, Thinking Poker, Prime Ryan, Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood, The King of Questions, Kirtix Lee, Koirei, not as rude anymore, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Perofros, The Goat Seeker, and Code, our alliance leaders, Hallowed, Only Fox, Synth, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Filthy, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Travel in the World, Ginger Prime, Sup Ginge, Philip Rakovich, Hey Philly, Haplo, What's Haploning, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Notorious Bizza, and also quite notorious is Black Jeebus 23, Extra C and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends, Jessica Gamble, Sup Jess, Mr. Slush Death, If You Nasty, The King of Bros, Bruh, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, How You Doing, Kev C, Hoda, Luna, Chris, Clam, Colonel Forbin, Bricks, Two Click, Rob Sullivan, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Coffin, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Craig Sterry, and special guest Matt V. It's Real Name Town, Ren Wrench, Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy McQ, Q's Town. Yest out, Eighth Age, One Big Man, Milkman for Reals, Cactus Jack, Reapser, BG, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe. Please check out the Snap Decisions podcast, one of the best podcasts in the game. Models, Mod Supreme, Boom Bot, Bickina Boom Bot, Green Goblin, my favorite Osborne, Unit Bot, different bot. Flan 56, the Fuzzy Lump, Spectrum Mix, Hoot Acu, it's Ocularis, Matt H, the only one we need, DJ Mikey Hijinks, don't freaking flex, Nick the Greek Geek, how you doing, Nicky? Let's see if he remembers that. Come meet me later. Zodrex, the King of Canada, Denman Falcon, Newman. Please go check out Father Newman's YouTube. He's got the spice coming out now. Jonesy, check out the Triple Threat on YouTube as well. Our friend Two Ties, the Great Lord Evs, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T. The T stands for peace, my friends. I will see you later today, either on stream or in the second video. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you then. Peace.